Good morning, guys, and welcome to your market report for Thursday, October 4th, 2018. Welcome to the show. And listen, we got bond rates on the move. The fix is in. The fix is in. You don't know what I mean by that. What I mean is you've just saw the trend. This is going to continue. It's going to gain speed later. There's going to be ups and downs, but the ups are going to be bigger than the downs. Like take the bond yields, for instance. It's going to go up, and then it'll back off a little bit and come back down just a little bit, but not down as low as it was before. And then it'll go back up again because no markets move in a straight line. So, but the trend is in. The trend is in. The trend is dollar up, gold and silver up, albeit a bit slower than the dollar. And this is unusual because normally when the dollar goes up, gold and silver go down. But in this case, it's going to be the commodities and now are making the turn too. Commodities I'm talking about are gold, silver, and oil. Also, what we're going to see is cryptocurrency creeping its way up, but only to a point to when the stock market really crashes hard. And then they're going to get frightened and they're going to pull their money out of the cryptocurrencies. So we might see cryptocurrencies go bearish again at that point. But the fix is in. This is what's happening, what we see happening. Yields are going to continue to rise until they actually destroy the markets. They're not going to go down. The long end of the curve is going to continue to rise faster than the short end of the curve. So I don't think, personally, we're going to see the bond yields invert. I don't think we're going to see that. Anyway, the fix is in. We're seeing what's happening. It's going to increase. This effect is going to increase. It's going to get worse. But it's going to have little spots where it gets worse and better and worse and better. Anyway, let's move on to the markets and let's get right into Bitcoin and let's start the charts right here. And the first thing we're going to look at is the Bitcoin price is 65.40. Well, it's not going anywhere. This market is waiting to see what's going to happen, and we're waiting to see what's going to happen with this market right now. Cryptocurrency market capitalizations today are 219 billion. Bitcoin dominance 52%. All the coins are in the green, but only marginally. Now, the silver price today silver today is meandering along up a little bit. It's maintaining its gains. It's up 7 cents, which is good. Okay, so, but this is part of the trend. I believe that now at this point, they're stopping the manipulation. They're exposing some of the manipulators within the market because it's ending. It's coming to a close. The silver downward spiral manipulation is coming to a close now. And the reason why they have to close it is to keep the support for the dollar. They don't want the dollar to go too high at this point. And the Fed is going to support the dollar in both directions. When they are in the process of quantitative easing, they want to keep the dollar strong. When they are in the process of quantitative tightening, they want to keep the dollar weak. The process of quantitative tightening was a slow process getting started up to full speed. They kept up with the silver and gold manipulation downward during the first part until it got up to speed. Now that it's up to speed, they're having to move it in the opposite direction. So the gold and silver manipulation now, if anything, they're going to probably manipulate it to the upside at a certain point. And they probably already got it planned, the upward manipulation of gold and silver. Let's take a look at a Dow Jones Industrial Average. She's down 174 points, and this is part of the trend. We're going to see a zigzag trend, but it's going to gain momentum as yields continue to rise. And they're not going to stop. There's going to be a zigzag upwards movement in yields. If we look at the 10-year chart, and we will in just a minute, you'll see that zigzag movement. So let's take a look at oil prices. Oil prices 75.68. They're zigzagging upwards as well. So we're going to continue to see these trends continue. Bonds and rates. Now, this is the one we want to focus on right here. We're seeing an upward trend in these bond yields, but it's going to be zigzaggy, an upward trend. Down some, and then it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We're going to see this trend continue, but these yields ultimately are going to continue to rise. The trouble's going to begin when the U.S. 10-year here broaches 3.25. That's when the real trouble's going to start. That's when we're perched and ready. That's when the diver is on the end of the diving board and he's ready to make the crash. That's when the crash is ready. So now let's take a look at the U.S. 10-year closer, and you can see this zigzag movement upwards that began back when they started the program of quantitative tightening. They started it in October of last year. Well, that would be back here, right here. They started it. And you can see they started real slow. And you can see at first nothing really happened along here. And then all of a sudden it started to move up in a zigzag fashion. It's been zigzagging up and down, zig, 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 you know. But ultimately, it's moving upward, it's trending up, 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 up. So if you just draw a straight line from down here to up here, you can just see it's trending right upwards. And this is going to continue. The cost to borrow money is going to go up. This is going to have an effect on the housing bubble. There is a housing bubble right now. It's almost as big as the bubble it was in 2008 or 2007 or whatever. This bubble is almost as big. Not quite. It's about 7/8 the size of the one that burst before, but it doesn't need to be as big because there's a lot of other bubbles. It's going to burst. Okay? So now let's take a look at the U.S. dollar index. 95.67. So we're seeing that same zigzag trend upwards. Listen, thanks you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye, guys.